Morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever in the world you're joining us from. Thank you for taking the time. You are with us to hear how to deliver profitable growth by cutting costs and increasing operational efficiency. Today, we have a really exciting lineup of speakers for you and some very, very relevant, timely content. So please take a minute and familiarize yourself to the Q&A panel. If you have any questions, put your questions into that window. You can also put any comments, questions in the chat. We will try to get to those as we go along, but we are saving the questions for the end for our speakers so that they can run through the content they have planned for you. I want to quickly remind everyone that please make your purchasing decisions based on what's available in the marketplace today, even if we make some forward-looking statements in today's webinar. And with that, I really want us to dive into the content. So I'm going to hand it over to Vikram, our CFO.
Morning and good afternoon, everyone. I'm Vikram Khosla. I am the CFO at Automation Anywhere. With over 2 decades of extensive financial, operational, and public accounting experience, I can safely say that I've done a lot of things, from standing in long lines during the banking crisis to navigating companies through rough waters. Managing the expectations and goals of C-suite executives, audit committees, board members, and above all, investors is something and I'm sure all of you listening, you have to do every day. The world of business rests on finance. We have to be innovative problem solvers. We have to work cross-functionally and effectively manage the intricacies of changing multifaceted businesses. Today, I'm very excited to share some of my learnings, hear from all of you, and kick off a dialogue so we can all advance to the world of finance together. Joining me on the webinar will be Thomas Moreno from Google and Stefan Kosten from Automation Anywhere. They will introduce themselves in a few minutes. This slide talks about headwinds in the world of finance. These headline comes as no surprise. High inflation, high cost of capital, limited budget to grow, and to top it all, increasing regulatory and compliance oversight. We are living and breathing these macro challenges every day. While we might not be able to directly control the economic situation, we do have control over our teams, their productivities and their efficiencies we can deliver to eventually impact cost of operations and cost of revenues. To say the least, it's basically controlling the controllable. How does automation help us? Automation makes finance smarter. And that is where the automation comes into the picture. Our teams are burdened with a multitude of siloed systems that are purpose-built to solve a narrow set of problems. But that is not how the work gets done. No one system can solve for an end-to-end business process. Automation can bridge that gap. Automation is what can weave all these systems together, weaving workflows and human intervention into our system of work. As a matter of fact, Gartner had the CFO symposium recently, and I was not surprised to hear that 64% of the finance leaders believe that autonomous finance will be a reality in just 6 short years. What is autonomous finance? It's Gartner defines as a finance function that isn't just automated, it's capable of delivering augmented real-time and predictive insights, effortless compliance, and greater flexibility in financial strategy. Automation impact is limited by the siloed applications. To get to the stage where we can glean these predictive insights and trends, we first need our systems to speak to each other and for humans to speak easily with the systems. And that has to be the step 1. If you have automated tasks, that is great. You have started on the right path. But just automating tasks limits the potential of what you can achieve with true process automation. Siloed applications for billing, RevRec, payment reconciliation, procurement. What does this mean for your teams? It means that they're spending hours and hours pulling data from one system, trying to reconcile it with another system. They're struggling with trying to ensure every system, every vendor, every customer, every platform is compliant and secure. They spent a ton of time on building a tech stack. But humans are out of those systems of work. They are not realizing the value out of those tech stacks that they had potentially could, because those systems are not talking to each other. So the question comes is, how do we leverage automation? And how do we leverage the automation success platform? That is where the automation success platform can help you, as it has helped me and my teams. One of the big reasons I joined Automation Anywhere is because of potential I personally saw in the impact it can deliver to all finance orgs. My teams have already implemented automation across various use cases, helping my team spend less time doing grunt work and more time focusing on the strategic imperatives. We have streamlined code to cash, for example. We have seen improved governance and audit trails, resulting in enhanced compliance, reduced provisioning issues, accelerated invoice creation, minimized invoice rejections, and expedited collections. Another example is collections. The implementation of advanced reporting tools for accounts receivable has significantly reduced days still outstanding by 25% and improved cash collection by 30%. Yes, you heard it right. DSO reduced by 25%. And with end-to-end automation of sales tax and withholding calculation, it has saved me 60 to 70% of employee time and allowed them to focus on customers instead of paperwork. We cannot afford to do business as it has always been done anymore. We have to keep up with times and step up our game. I heard the story of how insurance used to be done 100 years ago. Multiple floors of building would be filled with people on desk manually running calculation. But when computers came in, those people did not disappear. They instead focused on making insurance better, while the computer did the grunt work of running the models and calculating the premiums. The same thing is happening today. I think we are at the cusp of something that is truly revolutionary. We hold the keys to unlocking a new, faster, more effective way to run a business. The real-world impact is felt by our customers like Experian, who saw a 150% productivity gain by automating data entry and reporting. Or Stanley Black & Decker, who automated accounts payable process and saw over 3.5 million saved. And this is just the beginning. Just imagine what Gen AI and AI can do for us. I could not be more thrilled to have Thomas Moreno from Google give us an exclusive peek into the future and what the power of Google and Automation Anywhere could mean for your business. Thank you. Thomas, over to you.
Thank you so much. My name is Tomas Moreno. I'm Product Manager for Document AI at Google Cloud. We're all here to learn about how AI and automation can help financial processes, increase operational efficiencies, and really help and automate these workflows. We're also here to learn about what Google Cloud also has in its portfolio that is also helping the partnership with Automation Anywhere. So I'm really excited to be a part of this continued partnership between Automation Anywhere and Google Cloud. First thing I'd like to point out, we're really proud of Google's years of pioneering AI research and development. We'll continue to publish our research results and share data sets so that everyone can benefit from the work we're creating. So I'm not going to speak to everything. The next slide, please. I'm not going to speak to everything on this slide. But in 2020, we released Lambda. It's a conversational AI system that learns to communicate and generate human-like text responses to a wide range of prompts and questions. We recently launched Bard, which is an application trained on a massive data set. It's a model, and it can generate text, it can translate languages, write different kinds of creative content, and answer your questions in an informative conversational way. And finally, as you can see, we've been really focused on responsible AI. It's really the foundational part of every product that we build. Every time we come out with a new model or an algorithm, we really incorporate it responsibly into our approach from the ground up. So now let's talk about how Gen AI is really empowering automation in AI processes. Large models really present an incredible opportunity for us, for industries to innovate, create new businesses, increase operational efficiencies, as Vikram said. And here's how. So traditionally, to build these machine learning models, you needed a ton of resources, manage complex data sets, and a lot of data, which is very expensive and hard to manage. But these large models really process the world's publicly available data, and it can be in text, audio, or images. And we're making it really accessible to everybody, including businesses like yours and partners, through easy-to-use interfaces. For example, by being able to understand humans more intuitively, these large models are making online interactions much easier, and it allows companies like yours to reach larger audiences with less staff. Every application assisting business through content generation could be text, code, images, and music. This really makes employees more productive in their daily jobs. And the last thing I want to say here is that these large foundational models don't have to be used as is. So there's different ways and degrees and expertise needed for companies such as Automation Anywhere in your company to customize these models and to choose the right model for your cost and application and business value. It's very exciting stuff. Let's talk a little bit about consumer versus enterprise. Let's go to the next slide, please. And as we all know, there are really two types of AI that will be coming to the public, consumer and enterprise. So enterprises need to be able to build something using this technology. What does that mean? Things to watch out for. So using cloud technology gives you control of your data. And among the many benefits are, the first one is information access. You don't want your organization to know, you want to know that your organization is training models, especially large language models, from known sources. You don't want other organizations to also get access to this data. And you want to know the input and the output of the models, and you want to make sure that they're as part of a sovereign data tenant. The other thing that's really important is how to build that data. So whether you're a large investment bank, a retail media company, you want to make sure that the data you're using comes from a known source. So you got to think about how the data is implemented into these models. And the third thing is really fraud and security. Really, this is really important. In regulated industries such as banking or healthcare, you need to know how you got the data, which is really important in the context of an enterprise. Next slide, please. So a couple of things to keep in mind when we're looking at large language models and Gen AI. First thing is controlling your IP. So data governance and IP controls are even more crucial for enterprises in the age of Gen AI. You want to make sure that your data is protected, it's not used to train other models, that the data is also copyright free, and that you own your internal data and it's not leaked. The other part is really choice and value. We don't think one model fits everything. Bigger is not always better here. You don't need a trillion parameter model to answer simple questions. And Google gives you access to the right model at the right time at the right cost for use cases that you need. The other part is we need the models to be grounded in factuality. What does that mean? LLMs or large language models provide a lot of creativity, but for enterprises, the use cases, it is important to also have factuality. So Google Cloud brings large language models, search, conversational, it gives you the ability to ground your answers in factuality. So that's really important. The last piece is really security at scale. All our generative AI offerings are built atop our Google Cloud infrastructure. This means that you automatically inherit your existing user security, data management, and entitlement regimes. As we'll show from here on out, we're going to look at our cloud AI offerings and how they complement Automation Anywhere, as well as your organization. When we look at the cloud AI portfolio, we're really focusing on a number of personas. And we have at the core, we have our Vertex platform with Generative AI Studio, APIs, as well as Model Garden. And this is really, an area where partners like Automation Anywhere are leveraging the technology of Gen AI. And we also have suites and product suites such as Document AI, which I'm a part of. And those suites are really easy paths to implement some of these AI models and Gen AI models. So let's go a little deeper. Let's start at the bottom. We'll go from the bottom to the top. Let's go to the next slide, please. First of all, it's all about offering a wide choice of models. So here are some examples of new foundational models that can be found across a variety of modalities and tasks. These include text, dialogue, code generation, code completion, image generation, and then embeddings for any tasks. These are all part of the Cloud AI offering, which is empowering some of the Automation Anywhere solutions, or will empower some of the solutions. And these all provide a couple of things. One is built-in safety, really access to the best state-of-the-art models, and an enterprise-grade infrastructure like I talked before. So for performance, scalability, cost, and global reach. These are the foundation models. These are foundation models that we're offering. These are the categories. Now let's go up one level in the stack and talk about Vertex. So as Stefan will highlight, Vertex is one of Google Cloud's platform to develop AI models. It helps you build, deploy at scale machine learning models pretty quickly with fully managed ML tools. Couple of things. You can use pre-trained models, or you can create different large language models. You can build generative AI applications quickly and responsibly with Model Garden. And it really helps you implement ML practices efficiently and at scale. So let's talk a little bit about two of those areas. Next slide, please. With Model Garden, you're able to really search, discover, and interact pre-trained models, either from Google or Google partners, to find the right model for your application, your AI application. So what this allows you to do is now you can go to Model Garden and choose whether you need different models for automation, for procurement, for anything that you need. And this can be easily integrated into platforms such as Automation Anywhere. Let's go to the next slide, please. And now with Generative AI Studio, you can use the Cloud Console to prototype really quickly, to test, to tune generative AI models. You can sample prompts, design your own prompts, and really customize them to handle tasks that meet your applications for any operational efficiency. So you can test the models using prompts, design and save your own prompts, tune a foundational model, and convert from text to speech, for example. And with Document AI, this is a suite of products that really allows you to process and manage documents across pretty much any industry. It is very complementary to automation, and we have a couple products deployed with Automation Anywhere that we're really proud of. In this portfolio, we have pre-trained models. We have a way to customize with Document AI Workbench. And then we also have a Document AI Warehouse, which is a document management system that we created. So it's a very powerful suite of products that we're working really closely with Automation Anywhere to really help you process documents, not just process, but automate those workflows too. Let's go to the next one. And some of the areas where Gen AI really helps increase operational efficiencies, whether it's financial services or any vertical or any industry, are here. Some of the ones that I'd like to touch upon are, for example, summarization. Now you can summarize from a corpus of documents. You can get pretty good, accurate summarization. You can ask progressive Q&A from hundreds of thousands of documents. You can reconcile documents, for example, and you can do much more. So the power of Gen AI is really tremendous on processing your document types. And with that, now I'll hand it off to Stefan for a demo.
Before I let Stefan introduce himself and give us the exciting demo, there was a quick question, and I think it's kind of timely for the AI section, Tomas.
Yes.
So one of our listeners wants to know, is it possible for a chatbot to read off of PDF documents?
Yes, yeah, we have. So yeah, is it possible? Yeah, we have the tools to build that. So as part of Document AI, we have a very good OCR that can read text, and then from there you can build a chatbot. Yes, it is part of our Cloud AI portfolio. We have all the tools to do that.
Right. Thank you, Nisha. Thank you, Thomas. Yeah, my name is Stefan Kersten. I'm senior manager at Automation, and we are looking after solutions, right? Where can we help our customers with solutions? And I divide this in two areas. One is a vertical solution. What we see in the demo is like accounts payable, where we can build, based on our solution, components for process automation, for document automation, how we can again help our customers to build solutions, again, in different business functions like finance, HR, procurement, and so on. But at the same time, we are looking after where we can help our customers that will span across different business functions. So like more horizontal solutions, where we can help customers to build like a citizen development initiative, or where we can help our customers to build a solution to identify new automations, and I will track the value. And part of the demo we will see at the end, a little bit outside of the scope of a business function, where we again can help our customers in a COE, but at the same time also in business, like a line of business leaders interested, what's the value of automation? I will show at the end of the demo our solution, which is called COE Manager, that again helps also again different roles in organization to identify and track the value that you get from automation. So I will share my screen, and I run a demo showing again something we have built for customers in finance. In this case, it's an accounts payable demo, which shows actually an end-to-end process, which really starts with where we actually getting invoices, in this case, from a supplier. Well, let's start this demo. And again, if we think about automating this process, and again, accounts payable, the invoice processing is one of the most labor-intensive processes. And again, using AI and intelligent automation typically can really generate more than 50 to 70% of time savings. But it's not just about time savings. At the same time, you can improve multiple KPIs. You can reduce the cost to process an invoice. You can maximize the percentage of supplier discounts taken. You can also maximize the number of invoices you can process per FTP. So this also helps you, again, in finance to improve these KPIs. It's not just about time savings, but also it's about improving these KPIs. When we see the demo, we have multiple personas involved in the process. It starts with supplier, Natalie, who's sending an invoice. We have an accountant, but sometimes they have to validate something that they get from the supplier. We have an approver. We have to approve it based on some business rules, but the target is, of course, to have as many invoices auto-approved. So nobody has to approve it, but we see that in demos. Sometimes you have to. And the last step is to monitor the success of the automation. Again, we start with a supplier, and she's sending 2 invoices to a mailbox, right? And attaching these invoices is something she's doing, right? And then she has to wait, what else, right? She doesn't know if something has been received, but using automation, the automation immediately can tell the supplier, we have received it, and send a confirmation. And before automation, an accountant in the organization had to complete this SAP form in S4, which is time consuming. Now with automation, she's receiving the document immediately. We're using Google Vertex AI to detect the document type, right? Sometimes supplier maybe sends a purchase order or credit memo, and in this case, the process already knows, using again Google Vertex AI, it's an invoice. We can continue in the process doing the next steps. And we have received 2 invoices. Again, we're checking both, right? Both are invoices, that's fine. And one of the invoices has an issue. And we see that's why now an accountant still have to do something, like if you have a bad document quality. So we're using Document AI from Google to extract all the data but something is missing, right? And because of document quality, there's an ink stain, right? Something's missing, like in line item 3, the quantity is missing. She's validating and adding the right quantity. At least she thinks that's the right quantity. And then actually another invoice is processed automatically. There are no issues. Again, one had an issue, the other one was fine. And then we have sometimes to approve it, right? In this case, again, AI also helps to identify that we need someone to approve, because in this case, again, generative AI, Vortex AI, detected an issue. It detected the issue because Berea didn't enter the right quantity, right? So again, using just generative AI, ask, do you see any issues? It will tell me, yeah, I see some issues, right? It's line item 3 again, right? There's something wrong with this. And if you do some calculations, you immediately see it's not 12, right? It's 10. Again, AI helps, again, the approver to validate it if everything is fine. And then he can again enter the right quantity in this case, again, based on the help. Is there anything else? Again, that's really helps the approver and other personas in this process using the capabilities of AI, again, without training, learning, immediately use it, right, to identify any issues with the document that has been received by the supplier. Again, the other document, the other invoice, no issues because the invoice amount was below 1,000 and there were no issues detected by AI. And the last step is now, and that's something Berea had to do before, right? Going to SAP, entering all the invoice details into the different SAP forms. Now an automation is doing in seconds for both invoices. And that's really now where the value comes from, right? That because now nobody has to do it. And you have already validated everything regarding any issues, all the data has been validated. That really now ends to, you get the value out of this process again with doing the automated invoice processing. And then the line of business lead like Barbara is now interested. What is the real value we get with the automated accounts payable process? And using COE management automation anywhere, she immediately sees we already achieved about, let's say, 800K of savings in the last couple of months. And she's also interested, what are the expected savings? So we have a forecast, so we can expect a saving of about 2.5 million by the end of this year with this automated, just with this automated process. And of course, you can automate more than this, right? You can automate something in accounts receivable, vendor onboarding, procurement processes, sales order intake, and so on. At the end, that helps actually the organization to achieve the right value and also track the value that you can achieve with automation.
Perfect. Thank you so much for that demo, Stefan. I think everyone is loving it. They are excited about it, and there are a bunch of questions coming in. So before we go back to the deck, I think it's a good time to bring up the questions. The first question is, this integration with Google, what version of Automation Anywhere should our customers be thinking about in terms of compatibility with Google? Stefan?
So yeah, can I repeat it again? Sorry.
Yeah. So the question was, the integration with Google, what version of Automation Anywhere should the customer be on in order to be able to leverage the Google integration?
Right. So what do we do is we already have predefined integrations to Document AI, to Vertex AI, and so on. I can't really say what's the latest, right? Let's say about .27, .28. That's where we introduce some of the additional capabilities in document automation. And we'll continue to add more, but I would say at least should be .27 or .28 as the latest version you should use as a customer to get the latest what we have done when it comes to integrate the Google solutions into our platform.
Great, thank you. And then we have another question. How is this integration done? Is it through API or UI? And does this read PDF images?
Right. So the integration is all done using Google's API. And although what we have seen in the demo last part, could all be done via APIs. We have used a bot doing this, but all we are able to use APIs from SAP to create a supplier invoice. And again, for Google, everything is based on API integration.
Excellent. All right. I'm going to let everyone take a few minutes to continue to put their questions in the Q&A window as we run through a little bit of the content that's left over. So think about the questions. Stefan and Tomas are extremely knowledgeable. This is your chance to get your questions answered. The way to start thinking about automation and intelligent automation with Google is not limiting yourself to one area or one task, like Vikram had said earlier. It is about thinking the end-to-end process and automating that business process at scale. So whether it is about accounting, procure to pay, record to report, you name it, within finance, there are a lot of areas that you can really integrate different systems and automate those tasks. So you're taking the burden of data manipulation, data gathering off of your teams. Automation Anywhere is here to be your partner. We have very strategic programs like the Pathfinder program, which provides you with almost like the blueprints for success. This is based on 20 years of our experience. We have mapped out the steps to not only get started, but to scale. And like Stefan mentioned, measure your success, track those KPIs, showcase to your leadership as well as to your peers the value of automation, which can be measured and demonstrated. So we have extensive resources. We have a community to help you. It is a journey, and we are your partners on it. There are a lot more events coming up. If you are interested, we have our annual conference, Imagine, coming up really soon. You should check that out. I'll put a link in the chat window in a few minutes. If you're interested in learning more about AI and automation and what we can do with that, we have a monthly webinar, and you can register for that and check out the demos, just like Stefan walked you through. There are many other use cases that you might find interesting. And then, of course, it's not limited to finance, whether it's customer experience or procurement, you name it. There are other areas where generative AI is going to play a big role. And you can sign up for the upcoming webinars and learn more about that as well. So with that, I'm going to first off say thank you to Tomas as well as Stefan for taking the time, for bringing their expertise and sharing their knowledge with all of us. And of course, a big thank you to all of you for taking time out of your day. If you have any questions, please put them into the Q&A window, into the chat window. Let us know if you have any feedback, any topics you want to hear more of. We really appreciate you. We appreciate your time. And Jamie has been kind enough to put in the links into the chat window. So if you're interested in learning more, please check out those resources and sign up for those upcoming events. All right, I'm going to give everyone just a few more minutes to, if they're thinking of their questions and they're taking time, I'm going to let everyone put their questions in. There's thank yous coming in, Stefan, Tomas. People are loving this and they appreciate what you're doing.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to be here. Absolutely. Very exciting.
Excellent. I don't see any additional questions pop up. So thank you all for hopping on. Thank you for your time and hope you have a great rest of your day.